What's something you did during sex that was so stupid you still facepalm about it today? I had sex with a deaf chick and I was moaning really loud, but she couldn't hear it, so I gave her a thumbs up for half of it. It became an inside joke. One girl I was with in high school was on top, and I had to fart real bad. I wasn't sure what to do, so I just tried to hold it in. She started to get more into it and picked up the pace, which caused a series of tiny rhythmic farts every time she came down. It sounded like a machine gun. She stopped and asked if I farted and I blamed the squeaky bed. She knew. The first time I tried to kiss a guy, I closed my eyes, went forward with my mouth open, and bit his chin. An old girlfriend of mine said she wanted to be slapped while we were going at it. After 100% ensuring she really wanted to be slapped, I slapped her. I missed her cheek and smacked her right in the nose. She yelled, "Ow, fuck," but thankfully didn't hold it against me. The classic guys don't know how to slap during sex. They either do it too lightly, or knock the sonic rings out of your ass, holds true. Thank God there's been no accidental nose hits over here, though, LMAO. At least she took it like a champ. In college my girlfriend was riding me in my dark bedroom me summer night. She was vigorously gyrating that I could feel her sweat dripping on me. Afterward we kissed and cuddled. When we turned on the light we discovered she had had a bloody nose and her blood was all over my neck and chest. Getting my wife's bra off. Too many damn straps and crap. I muttered Rubik's boob and we started laughing so hard we killed the moment. This was a bit of a misunderstanding, but when my boyfriend and I first got together, I was going to give him a blowjob, so I took the gum out of my mouth and I thought I put it in the trash bin. I did not. After we finished I went to the bathroom and saw gum all over my hair. I guess it was still on my hand when I put my hair up with a hair tie. So I said, "Man, this takes me back to my childhood," referring to the gum stuck in my hair. When I walked back into his room, his face had changed from happy bliss to complete concern. After a pause he finally says he was so sorry and that we didn't have to do that again. He hadn't seen the gum in my hair. He thought I was talking about a childhood filled with blowjobs. Once we figured out the mix-up, he was still a bit shaken by my childhood. My husband was trying to talk dirty to me and finished a sentence calling me a silly goose. Sex was postponed for a good 15 minutes while I laughed my ass off. My girlfriend a while ago liked to do the ice cube, cup of tea blowjob trick. One night we didn't have any ice cubes, only a bag of frozen peas. She went down on me with a mouthful and it turns out that peas in the mouth defrost really fast. After about 20 seconds she choked and coughed blowjob mushy peas all over me and my new sheets. Improvise. Adapt. Overcome. Getting hot and heavy with my GF in bed, making out and getting ready to start the main event. We're whispering back and forth to each other when I say, "I wanna be inside you." To which she immediately responded, What did you say?" After a very confusing moment, I realized she thought I said, "I want to pee inside you." It kinda killed the mood. BTW, fucking autocorrect almost made me post this as getting hot and heavy with my grandfather in bed. Glad I'm a paranoid proofreader. Laying on my bed with my GF giving me a blowjob, she puts her finger under my balls and I farted super loud. I still get embarrassed thinking about it cause her face was right there, LMAO. She was a good sport though. Not me, but my girlfriend and I were in the middle of sexy times and we had been wanting to get more comfortable with dirty talk, and after a little bit of back and forth she said, "How bad do you want this dick?" I mean, pussy. We just laughed it off. But she still gets embarrassed thinking about it to this day. She, who's very insecure, queefs very loud and leans forward. Looks back at me, lip shaking like she's going to cry. I'm not grossed out or anything, but I do kinda feel bad for her. I seize this opportunity to let out a fart that I'd been holding in, and followed up with "It's okay, I do it too sometimes." It was unsuccessful. She just started bawling. A girl invited me over to her house to watch the Wonder Woman movie. While we're watching it, she starts kissing on me and teasing me. I said, what about the movie? She says to me, come on to the bedroom, it'll be better than the movie. And while we're going at it, she says, see, isn't this better than the movie? And before I could catch myself, I said, I don't know, I haven't seen the rest of the movie. My very first time with a gal who was out of my league. We stripped off our clothes and were making out, and both of us totally naked. I said, so, what next? Do I ask for a blowjob? She laughed it off and said, let me take the lead on this one. I miss her. Not really bad but weird. I was having sex with my GF in the missionary position and out of nowhere she stuck her middle finger up my ass. No warning or anything. What really freaked me out was I came instantly. Didn't have any control over it. First time. I put it in and just expected things to happen. I mean, it felt warm and nice, but not even close to how good it felt when I masturbated. We figured things out the second time round though. So, we just started to have normal sex. After a while he probably thought it was sexy or whatever to ask me in a disguised voice how I want him to fuck me. Yeah, well, that different sounding voice just confused me in that moment so much that I just blankly stared at him for a couple of seconds without either of us saying anything until I started to choke on my own saliva and we had to take a break so I could drink something. It was awkward. Very. First time I saw a penis, I was like, wow, so that's it. I meant like, wow, it's actually there. Here it is. But he understood it like it wasn't big or something, lol. Like, where's the rest of it? Having sex while standing, holding GF face to face, and supporting her off the ground with my arms under her legs. Yeah, you have to have some strength to do this. So she's all into this new position, and my arms are getting tired, so I have the idea to walk forward and put her back against the wall. Except it was the patio sliding glass door. In January, which was freezing cold. Bare GF back against a cold piece of glass. Nope. That definitely broke the mood. Not me, but a very good friend of mine had the total hots for a girl, had been working on getting her interested for the longest time, took her out, wined and dined her, got her finally to come back to his place, put some nice music on, candles, wine, setting a lovely mood. They were making out. Clearly, things were about to happen. She took off her top, exposing what he now deserves are spectacular and exquisite alabaster breasts, and he exclaimed in giddy surprise, "Oh god, they're massive." Like an absolute moron to the god of boobies. Which of course, she was not bowled over by. She started crying, pulled her top back on and left. It's been 20 odd years, he still brings it up whenever he has a remorse boner. Sex with a bald girl. I'm hitting from the back and I'm super horny, and in the moment I couldn't think of an alternative to hair pulling, so I just grabbed her head like a fucking basketball. She starts dying laughing immediately. I was nervous around my first college crush. After a few weeks of talking, I finally got her into my room. We were on my bed making out, getting touchy-feely. I realized pretty quickly that she wasn't wearing any panties under her short shorts. I looked down and said, "I can see your vag, JJ." She laughed awkwardly, said she had to go, and we never spoke romantically again. Reminds me of my first time with my girlfriend where we were trying to figure out what we were even doing. She reached into my underwear and with a coy face said, "What's this?" And I looked her straight in the eyes and responded, "That's my dong." Luckily we both found it pretty damn funny and were able to continue on with our activities, but definitely not my slickest moment looking back. Not me but my husband. He was being silly, jumped up on the bed but hit the overhead light with his hand, raining pieces of glass onto said bed and cutting a gash in his calf. No sex for us that night. Accidentally tried to put it in the wrong hole my first time. She even had to say, wrong hole. The movies always made it seem like everything would just line up perfectly, wouldn't have to look and line things up, like I could just slide on in without breaking eye contact. I now know a bit better. She was laying on me on my couch in a kind of 69 position. Her shorts were pulled down and I was just kind of grabbing her ass and getting closer to her vagina, rubbing and all that. Then I noticed this string and thought it was a thread from her panties. So I naturally wanted to grab it and tear it off. I grab it and give a slight tug and say, "You have a string." I never saw a girl pull her pants up quicker in my life. I knew she was on her period but I wasn't even thinking. I instantly hugged her tightly and said, "Oh no, I'm sorry," and we just laughed for the next 10 minutes. She was more embarrassed than I was, but goddamn I felt stupid. I'm just glad we laughed and hugged it off. When it was my first time, I didn't really know what to do. So I thought it would be a good idea to copy what I saw in a dumb teen movie. So once I'm about to put it in, I start laughing as if someone was tickling me, cause that's what they did in the movies. She just said, "YTF are you laughing?" It was very awkward sex. I did a porn audition. I was all ready, but meant to get my nails done beforehand. I looked at Walmart for a quick solution and found glue on acrylic nails. I had never used them before, but the box said they'd hold up to 2 weeks. Fast forward to the audition, and it started off with me masturbating on the couch. I was rubbing my clit and I felt the nails start to pop off one by one. I tried not to panic and go with it. When I moved my hand, I had a bunch of false nails stuck to my vagina. He was recording the whole time. I awkwardly laughed and asked to take them off and redo the shoot. But the embarrassment affected my performance and I just came off as extremely awkward. I got an email a few days later thanking me for they had not laughed like that in a long time. They said they didn't think I'd fit the part but asked if they could pay me for the segments to use in, for lack of a better term, a blooper reel. I haven't auditioned anywhere else since and don't plan to. Pretty much ruined it for me. But at least I can laugh about it now instead of being completely mortified. I was sleeping over a guy's house who was a few years older than me, 30M/26F, and warned him that I had my period ahead of time, so sex was a no-go. We were cuddling for a while when he said, "I know you have your period, but there are other options." I wasn't super comfortable with the idea of trying anal and told him I had never done that before. A few minutes later I gave him a BJ instead. Admittedly not my best, as it had been 4 years since my last relationship at that point and I was a little rusty. Fast forward to a few weeks later when he made a comment about being willing to teach me how to give a blowjob since I had never done it before, aside from the one time a few weeks prior. I was caught off guard and replied in a slightly flustered way that of course I've done that before, which was indeed true. Then it clicked. When I was on my period he was trying to subtly suggest a blowjob, not anal, and I had told him I had never done that before, thinking he was talking about the wrong thing. Embarrassing for a few reasons. One, he clearly thought I lied about my sexual experiences and I lost all credibility at that point too, since he was quick to believe I had never given a BJ and wanted to teach me how to give one. I apparently have the blowjob skills of a virgin who had never seen a penis before. Our relationship ended shortly after that and I'm convinced to this day that it's because he thought I was a liar who was bad at sex. I used to be terrified of premature ejaculation. Like, to the point, I could get it up in the first place, and if I did, then I obviously, immediately ejaculated. What I didn't realize is that 99% of women will just take this as a big compliment. As long as you are willing to continue engaging with them, you will have a much more lasting round 2 in about 30 seconds. My biggest mistake was getting insecure about normal sexual behavior and being defensive instead of complimentary. I finally found my confidence in my 30s, and if there's one single piece of advice I could give young men trying to get some, it's this. Be nice. As long as you respect your partner and aren't under any situation going to feel weird afterwards about how you want to do with them, then most women just want to be treated kindly. It's not a huge life commitment. It's just two people enjoying each other, so be nice. That is all. Not exactly during sex, but my wife and I were tripping balls together and had been fooling around. She gets really wet, which I love. And for whatever reason, my acid brain thought it would be a good idea to compare how wet she gets to a swamp. I think my exact words were, "God, I love how wet you get. It's like a swamp." We still laugh about it from time to time. Not sex, but literally just a couple of days ago, I was heavily flirting with a guy, and as we're talking back and forth, he said, "I like the way your brain works." I said, "If you like my brain, you should try my mouth." The silence that followed. That was fun. Have not spoken since. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.